features of DNA, the genetic material which was discovered by experimental proofs. So, what is this DNA? It is a made up of two polynucleotide chains. Which are anti-parallel and twisted. The distance or the diameter is 20 angstroms or 2 nanometers. The distance between every two base pairs in the DNA. The distance between every two base pairs in the DNA is equal to 3.4 angstroms or 0.34 nanometers. The distance of one pitch or coil or turn or helix or gyre. I have given various names in the previous class. Turn, gyre, helix, is equal to 34 angstroms or 3.4 nanometers. And the angle of curvature between every two base pairs, the angle of curvature between every two base pairs 36 degrees. So the angle of curvature of one turn, angle of curvature of one complete turn or pitch or helix or gyre or twist is equal to 360 degrees. And always A bonds with thymine with two hydrogen bonds, two hydrogen bonds, G always three hydrogen bonds, all this DNA which is proposed by Watson and Crick is called B form of DNA. So, what is B form of DNA? The most accurate model which is presented by Watson and Crick, they observed this and they have given name B form. It means it consists of 10 base pairs in one turn, which is equal to 20 nucleotides with above characteristic features. And the backbone is always sugar and phosphate alternating molecules, backbone sugar and phosphate alternating molecules in 2 chains, and the N2 bases are inwards projected, and in between 2 N2 bases hydrogen bonds are there, which will hold these 2 polynucleotide chains. These 2 polynucleotide chains are held together, which gives stability to the polynucleotide chains, along with the arrangement, the plane of arrangement of base pairs one above the other gives additional stability. Here, a B form of DNA, according to, they have given it is a right-handed helix. Right-handed helix. So here, right-handed helix means the formation of helical structures is in the form of right-handed fashion, clockwise direction. If we see from the above, the formation of this right-handed, right-handed, right-handed. So, to understand this right-handed, if you are going to wash a pot with a 1/4 of water, a pot is having little amount of water, and we have to make this, fill this pot with fresh water. When we want to make this pot with fresh water, already present water, we have to wash it out. So whenever we are going to wash this, we'll keep our hand and we'll make the cleaning process of pot. This movement of cleaning is called right-handed helix. It means the coiling of 2 DNA polynucleotide chains in a right-handed way, clockwise manner. If we make like this, it is called left-handed helix. And after the discovery of B form of DNA, later they have identified some other forms, A form, C form, D form, all are having right-handed helix, except studied by Rich, which is called Z form of DNA. Z form of DNA is left-handed helix. The coiling of polynucleotide chain around their own axis is left-handed helix. So here, B form of DNA, 10 base pairs in 1 turn is equal to 20 nucleotides, right-handed helix. So, polynucleotide chains having 20 angstroms. 1 coil is equal to 34 angstroms, or 20 nucleotides or 10 base pairs. Then question comes, what is the length of DNA? Length of DNA. Length of DNA is the characteristic feature of organisms. Statement type of question, assertion and reason are correct and wrong statements. Choose. Length of DNA is a characteristic feature of organisms. A particular organism is having particular length of DNA. So length of DNA is measured, is nothing but the number of nucleotides present in it. Length of DNA is measured by the number of nucleotides, or the nucleotides are present in the form of base pairs, either nucleotides are in the form of base pairs. Length of DNA is measured by the number of nucleotides or base pairs present in that DNA. And every organism is having its own DNA of a particular length. It means every organism has its own particular length of DNA. So assertion and reason they can ask, or they can ask, choose the correct statements. Length of DNA is measured by the number of nucleotides present in the DNA or base pairs present in the DNA. For example, length of DNA is nothing but the characteristic feature of particular organism, every organism. Every particular or specific organism. Length of DNA is the characteristic feature of that is, every particular organism is having a particular length of DNA. And length of DNA is measured by the number of nucleotides or base pairs present in that DNA. Every organism has its own particular length of DNA. What are, for example, a bacteriophage named PyX174. A bacteriophage named is having 5386 nucleotides. A bacteriophage which is called lambda bacteriophage. A bacteriophage lambda or a lambda bacteriophage, it is having 48,504 base pairs. Check this, whether my number is correct or not. Check this in the text, NCERT. A bacteriophage lambda. So a particular organism is having its particular amount of DNA. The DNA, length of the DNA is measured by the number of nucleotides or base pairs. Or Escherichia coli, a bacterial cell. Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli, simply E. coli. It has 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs length of DNA. So it is the characteristic feature of E. coli. If you get the number 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6, it means the DNA present in Escherichia coli. Human being, human haploid genomes. Haploid means genome. 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs. And human being diploid, 2 sets of chromosomes, 6.6 into 10 to the power of 9. So different organism is having a particular amount of DNA by its length, and this DNA is a characteristic feature of that particular organism. haploid DNA content of human cells, sperm or gamete, 3.3 into 10 to the power of. Diploid content is, so this is the total amount of DNA. The length of the DNA can be measured by the number of nucleotides or number of base pairs present in that. After knowing what is DNA, what are its characteristic features, our scientists are able to identify the functions of DNA. What are the functions of DNA? DNA as the genetic material, being genetic material, responsible for formation of characters or expression of characters. Formation of characters, expression of characters, transmission of characters to the next generation. Transmission of characters to the next generation. How DNA is able to perform all these functions? Formation of character, expression of character, transmission of character to the next generation. So all these comes under the functions, and these functions, various functions can be studied easily. That DNA shows a process called replication or autocatalysis. Auto, self, catalysis, breaking down. Self breaking down, which is nothing but replication. Replication, as we have seen in our earlier classes, is nothing but one DNA molecule which is having a structure of two polynucleotide chains or two strands. Strand, S-T-R-A-N-D, strand, double stranded, double helix. Each strand is nothing but a polynucleotide chain. Each strand is nothing but a which are anti-parallel and held together by hydrogen bonds. A twisted structure at a distance of 34 angstroms or 3.4 nanometers. So replication is a process in the life cycle of a cell, in the life cycle of an organism. This DNA, it undergoes separation or breakdown or catalysis. How? Instead of coiling like this, it separates. So the two strands will separate like this. The two strands are two polynucleotide chains which are joined, coiled, twisted. They are separated. This separation, when they were separated, they were having complementary base pairing. We have studied. What is complementary base pairing? Always A bonds with T, T bonds with A, G bonds with C, C bonds with. If we know the sequence of one strand or one chain, we can easily expect the sequence of, predict the sequence of another chain. So here, whenever these two chains are separated, self-catalysis breakdown, keep based upon this separated, a new DNA molecule is going to form. Instead of one DNA, finally, along the length, it will split. Along this length, it will split and produces two DNAs. These two are called daughter DNAs. Daughter DNA. This process is called replication or autocatalysis, the most important characteristic feature of DNA. Because of this nature only, DNA is considered as genetic material which can pass the information or the characteristic feature of an organism to its next generation, to its siblings, to its offsprings, to its next people, from one mango plant to other mango plant, tomato plant to tomato plant, dog to dog, cat to cat, rat to rat, human being to human being. How they are looking alike? It is because the nature of DNA is this, replication. These are similar to each other and they are similar to their parent cells. Replication, autocatalysis, which is important for transmission of characters to the next generation. Always 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes. So the two strands which are responsible for formation of new are called template strands. There are two templates in a DNA at the time of replication. Both these templates forms new DNA, new strand. Here, new strand. So in every two daughter DNA molecules, one strand is old strand from the parental DNA, another strand is new strand from the new, which is synthesized based upon the old strand. Another one is having one old, one new, one old, one new. So every generation, hereafterwards, these again they will sub. Again, out of the two newly formed, one is old, one is new. This process of replication is not found in proteins. That's why even though proteins are present in the cell, and even though proteins are moving from generation to generation, they are not considered as genetic materials because of loss of this process called replication. Again, the another important function of DNA is heterocatalysis. Hetero means different. Catalysis means breakdown. DNA is breaking down to produce not DNA but some other molecule. Heterocatalysis, for different molecule it is showing catalysis, or it is called transcription. A process, transcription, Transcription. Transcription is a process which is nothing but heterocatalysis. I repeat, heterocatalysis means the DNA molecule which is like this, having bonds. Sometimes it shows heterocatalysis. In this heterocatalysis, it is not going to break completely throughout its length. A part of the DNA will broken down and open like this. So this is DNA molecule, two strands. Some part of these two polynucleotide chains separated, broken down, catalyzed. So what it is having? It is having its own when they were separated opposite having same base complementary, T, A, C, G, C, A, T. because they were both base complementary to each other. They were separated. From this separated, out of these two polynucleotide strands or chains, one is responsible to produce a different molecule. Hetero, not auto, self, same. Hetero, a different molecule is produced, that is RNA molecule. Based upon the base complementary rules. Here adenine means, here it is a RNA molecule, so thymine is not found. Instead of thymine, uracil. Thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine, cytosine, guanine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine, adenine, uracil. So a molecule where ribose sugars are present and pyrimidines are uracil. Whenever a molecule ribose sugar and pyrimidine uracil is present, this is called RNA molecule, ribose nucleic acid. So DNA is able to produce RNA, and this RNA is that which is transcribed. It is not same, it is shifted, and it is not translated. Transcribed, changed from one form to other form. Here, which are following the law of base complementation. Adenine, uracil, thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine, cytosine, guanine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine, adenine, uracil. This, whenever it forms by the splitted DNA, and it will come out, as and when it comes out, again the DNA will become rejoined to become normal. So the process of splitting of DNA, a particular area, a particular segment, to produce particular amount of RNA, and this RNA is carrying the information of DNA in a transcribed form. The information, what is information? The sequence of N2 bases is nothing but the information of DNA. And what is this sequence of N2 bases? Even though we are not going to literally say a gene, but any sequence of DNA which is responsible for a character in our body, in the body of plant, in the body of organism, any animal, is called gene. So here in this, anywhere genes may be present, and by this it is producing RNA, and this RNA taking this message of DNA is called mRNA or messenger RNA. Messenger RNA molecule. So all these things are happening in DNA. DNA is present in chromosome. Chromosome is present in nucleus. So in a cell, for example, this board is a cell. In the nucleus, all these things are happening. The remaining is cytoplasm. So mRNA is that different molecule produced from DNA, and this mRNA is taking the message of the DNA in a transcribed form. Then this mRNA will come and it undergoes a process called translation. So the information of the DNA which is taken by the mRNA is entering into the cytoplasm. This is called the information in a language which cannot be easily identified by a normal human being unless they are having some genetic. This is called coded information, like Morse code, like Code of Da Vinci code. How coded information, shorthand information, it has to be changed, translated into a normal form. Then we can understand the meaning, what this code says. So this is called the information, mRNA. Based upon this information, some ribosomes will come, some other tRNA molecules will come. Finally, based upon this coded information, amino acids are produced. Amino acid 1, amino acid 2, amino acid 3, amino acid 4, amino acid 5. Because of so and so amino acids here, this is called a protein. Some X protein or some Y protein or some Z protein or some A protein, B. So the type of protein or the name of the protein is determined by the sequence of amino acids. And the sequence of amino acid, which amino acid is the first one, which amino acid is the second one, which amino acid is the third one, which is fourth, which is fifth, is determined by the sequence of mRNA. And the sequence of mRNA is determined by the sequence of DNA. So DNA is the ultimate molecule which could be act as genetic material for passing the information for the next generation. And it is that the process of formation of proteins. What are proteins? They are nothing but the building blocks of the cells. So every organism's body is made up of definitely cells. So this is a cell and it's the dimension, shape, size, everything is like this. How this cell is having this? Because of proteins. So eyes, nose, ears, hands, fingers, length, distance, width, thickness, color, all these are characteristic features in human being and animals and plants. And all these characters are because of their cells. And the cells are nothing but because of their proteins. And proteins are nothing but because of the amino acids. And amino acids are because of the coded information found in mRNA. And mRNA is considered as messenger because it has taken this coded information by a process called transcription from the DNA. So DNA is the ultimate responsible structure, director. It is the main functional responsible. What? It will responsible for build up the characters. Responsible for expression, formation of characters and expression of character. A man is like this, a dog is like this, an animal is like this, a plant is like this. Why? It is because of its DNA. And how this process is going on? This process is going on like this. By heterocatalysis or transcription. After transcription, messenger RNA is formed. After this, it is translated. Translation. So the coded language is converted into easily understandable language of amino acids. So this which amino acid here we don't understand. What is the code? When it was undergoing a process called translation, we are able to identify amino acid type and how which type of amino acid will come. Next, which type of amino acid? Next, so the arrangement of sequence of amino acids, one after other, one after other, one after other. So and so amino acid is equal to one so and so protein. Like that, hundreds of proteins, thousands of proteins are there with which cells are made. A bacterial cell is made up of some few hundreds of proteins. Eukaryotic cell made up of thousands of proteins. Like that, the complex cell with so many proteins is nothing but it is expression of the gene or DNA. So the main genetic material responsible for formation of characters or expression of characters, transmission of characters can be studied by replication or autocatalysis. After this, heterocatalysis or transcription and translation, formation of proteins. The process is in simple called protein synthesis. In the eyes of a human being, which protein has to be synthesized? In the hair of a human being, which protein has to be synthesized? How long a hair withstand black? How long hair will become, at what time it will become old, white in color? Or how long eyes lose their visible power? how long the major organelles inside organs will work when the skin loses appetite and becomes old. Metabolic activity is normal, metabolic activity is faster, metabolic activity is slow. What are the reasons for the dullness of various organ parts? Reasons for getting long hair or short hair. So everything in the body of human being or in the body of animals or in the body of plants, it is determined by genetic material which is called DNA, and we have studied DNA's characteristic features, the structural components of the DNA and how they were arranged by the idea of Wilkins, Franklin, and by the chemical analysis of Erwin Chargaff, chemical analysis of Pauling of hydrogen bonds. And after this, keeping in view of the Mendel's laws of inheritance, that is, a genetic material should be like this. It has to show a process like replication. It has to show a process like transcription and translation. So if any material has to show all these, it should be like this. It should be round, it should be linear, it should be helical. Finally, which is elusive for about long period. That illusion has been cracked by presenting the double helix model by Watson and Crick. They got Nobel Prize. Here, after understanding this, we are going to enter into Francis Crick has proposed central dogma of molecular biology. Central dogma. So if you are in a position to understand, at least to listen this, you can understand. Central dogma of molecular biology proposed by Francis Crick in 1958. Proposed by Francis Crick in 1958. According to his proposition, what is central dogma means? The flow of information is unidirectional. What is this unidirectional means? Always in one direction. Flow of, movement of, transmission of information. Information means what? Regarding which type of protein, in which cell, what is the sequence of amino acid, and how this sequence was made. All this is directed by DNA. So, molecular biology means the biology at its molecular level. What are those biomolecules responsible for production of characters, functioning of these characters, expression of these characters, and transmission of these characters is the central theme, central dogma, main aim of molecular biology to determine how it is formed. It is by a flow of information. The flow of information is unidirectional, that is from DNA to RNA in the form of mRNA, DNA double helix, 2 polynucleotide chains, it is able to show, and from RNA by taking this, it is able to determine which type of protein. So the type of protein is determined by RNA, and the RNA is produced from the DNA. So from the DNA, information is move. From the DNA, information move to RNA. From the RNA, information is moved into protein to build up the amino acid sequences. And when he is going to study and present this, he observed the first thing, because of base complementation. Base complementation immediately gives that there is a mechanism called replication. DNA can undergo replication. So the two functions what we have studied now, the two main functions of DNA what we have studied just now, still it is there on the board. A DNA is capable to produce its own DNA by replication. Replication is a process of a single DNA molecule is separated to produce two daughter DNA molecules which are similar, same to same. Why they are same to same? Because of base complementation. Because of base, and they were similar to their parent. Why? Base complement. So complementary base pairing is a hallmark proposition in the discovery of DNA model. And to identify DNA is the genetic material, it is only because of complementary. And complementary base pairing is achieved by Watson and Crick because of the experimentation, chemical analysis of Chargaff's rule of purines and pyrimidines in a DNA molecule are in equal amounts, equal proportions. How equal proportions they are? Unless a purine is bonded with a pyrimidine or a pyrimidine is bonded with a purine, they will not be in equal proportions. If two purines are bonded or two pyrimidines are bonded, they were not in equal proportions. So there is no genetic material discovery, there is no Mendelian inheritance of characteristic features. In the first law of dominance, law of segregation of gametes, purity of gametes, independent assortment, all these things are not possible. So here DNA undergoes replication. By replication, it will form DNA molecule. In the central dogma proposed by Crick, DNA undergoes replication for its continuity. And again, DNA produces RNA by a process called transcription. The information of the DNA is transcribed, shifted to RNA. Both are they are following the rules of base complementation. And in the RNA, only the difference is, instead of thymine, uracil, and instead of deoxyribose sugar, ribose sugar. And the difference in the deoxyribose sugar we have seen. Second carbon atom deoxyribose sugar H. Second carbon atom ribose sugar OH. OH in the sugar and uracil in the N2 bases. H in the sugar and thymine in the N2 bases. It differs the DNA and RNA chemically. And generally DNA is having two polynucleotide chains, and generally and mostly RNA is having single polynucleotide chain. In rare organisms, RNA is having double stranded nature, two polynucleotide chains, but generally RNA is single polynucleotide chain. So this RNA which is coming here is called mRNA or messenger RNA. The process is called transcription, formation of RNA from DNA. Transcription means process of formation of RNA from DNA is called transcription. I repeat, formation of RNA. This formed RNA is called messenger RNA. So it is taking message. It is taking message. What message? The information of N2 bases. What this N2 bases? It is nothing but ultimately produces amino acids and proteins. So RNA by a process called translation. What is translation? Translation means conversion. Code is decoded. The coded information of mRNA is decoded in a normal, understandable, easily studied language of amino acids and proteins. Translation means process of conversion of coded or decoding the information of mRNA. Decoding in simple. Coded information. How decoding? In the form of amino acids and finally proteins. In the form of amino acids and finally the group of amino acids, a particular, the sequence of amino acid is equal to one protein molecule. And so many proteins are equal to one cell. So many cells are equal to one cell. One organ system. Tissues. Tissue forms. Organs, organ systems, organism. So the ultimate body characteristic features, expression of characteristic features, functioning of characteristic features is determined by the DNA. So the flow of information regarding the proteins and amino acids. The flow of information is unidirectional, that is from DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. This is called central dogma of molecular biology. Always in one direction. Always from DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. Later, so many other, they have studied the information sometimes is reversible. Sometimes the central dogma is reversible, which is called reverse central dogma. Reverse or central dogma reverse. Central dogma reverse or reverse central dogma. It is explained, studied by Temin and Baltimore. Temin and Baltimore. This process is generally considered as Teminism because of the discoverer. And in simple, it is called reverse transcription. Reverse transcription. What is Teminism? Because Temin discovered along with Baltimore. It is, what is a Teminism means? It is nothing but reverse transcription. What is reverse transcription here? The flow of information is unidirectional, that is called central dogma. But here the flow of information is bidirectional sometimes, that is simply the process of formation of DNA from RNA. The process of formation of DNA from RNA is called reverse transcription. Reverse. So always Central dogma, according to Crick, DNA is responsible to produce RNA and RNA is responsible to produce protein. But it is not so in some organisms. Our Temin and Baltimore, by giving the name Teminism or reverse transcription, they have identified what are the organisms in retroviruses. In retroviruses, they observe that RNA produces DNA. This process of production of DNA from the RNA is called reverse transcription. And DNA is having its own ability of replication. And again DNA will produce RNA, again RNA will undergo. So reverse transcription is a process. We are able to design it like this: DNA replication, RNA and proteins are RNA, DNA replication, RNA produces DNA, and DNA undergoes replication, can produce RNA and again. So the reverse transcription is a process of formation of reverse transcription, formation of DNA from RNA. A specific enzyme they have studied, reverse transcriptase. When it is going on, transcriptase. When it is coming here, reverse transcriptase. In examples, retroviruses. And with the help of reverse transcription studies, helps in studying cancer biology. Biology of the cancer, how cancer is able to grow and how cancer could be treated well, how to escape from cancer, what is the structure, nature of formation of cancerous cells, can be easily studied by reverse transcription. So Teminism or reverse transcription, which was observed in some viruses, helped us for cancer studies. That's why Temin and Baltimore, they got Nobel Prize. In early 70s, Nobel Prize winners Temin and Baltimore for their discovery of reverse transcription process. And reverse transcription process helps in study to cure cancer, to understand the cancer and to cure cancer. So flow of information is always not in unidirectional, but flow of information is bidirectional. Bidirectional flow of information. Central dogma of molecular biology. Central dogma, reverse. So with this, we are able to identify what is DNA replication. A single DNA molecule of 2 polynucleotide chains finally produces 2 DNA molecules with 4 polynucleotide chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, DNA as the basic genetic material responsible for everything, characters, formation, expression and transmission. It is that master molecule produces mRNA by a process called transcription. This mRNA enters into cytoplasm as messenger RNA and it is carrying some coded information of DNA for what? Regarding which type of protein or which type of amino acid. So based upon these, amino acids are constructed in a sequence, and based upon the sequence of amino acid, protein is determined. Sequence of amino acids, proteins determined. So the type of protein depends upon the sequence of amino acids. Finally, The sequence of amino acids depends upon the coded information or sequence of N2 bases on mRNA which are transcribed. And the sequence of this mRNA is nothing but depends upon DNA. So the flow of information from DNA to RNA, RNA to amino acids and proteins is called central dogma to understand molecular level biology. The reason for every organism's body, how organisms' bodies are made up of cells. For example, a dog, an elephant. An elephant is having so many cells in eyes, its tail or legs. What are those cells? With what amino proteins they are made up of? If we detect the proteins, we are able to identify the amino acids. If we observe the amino acid, we can get idea which type of nucleotides or bases are present in mRNA. If we are able to identify mRNA, we can easily expect the DNA sequences because all are having base complementarity. Base complementarity. So we have studied the DNA in today's class. DNA, length of the DNA is measured by the number of nucleotides present in it or number of base pairs. And we have seen some examples of organisms. For example, Escherichia coli 4.6 into 10 to the power of 6 base pairs, 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs, 6.6 into 10 to the power of nucleotides. So in the coming classes, we are going to see how this much of large DNA molecule. How can you say that it is a large lengthy DNA molecule? Because by counting the total amount of DNA, for example, 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs of DNA is present in human being, haploid content. It is measured with the distance between every two bases. This is one nucleotide, another nucleotide, the distance is 0.34 nanometers or 3.4 angstroms. So 0.34 nanometer is a billionth of a meter, 10 to the power of minus 9. 0.34 into 10 to the power of minus 9. If you count this, we will get the haploid DNA length 6.6 into 10 to the power of 9 into 0.34 into 10 to the power of 9. A diploid set of chromosome DNA length approximately 2.2 meters. All the best. We will see in the next class the proceeding lessons. Thoroughly read NCERT book point to point. You will get how to answer questions in the NEET examinations. All the best.